Hey, you made it! Welcome to my basement. I'm Lisa Dublin, a health and life coach, a speaker, and an author, and this is my podcast, Basement Chronicles. Well, actually, this is your podcast if you are a professional, an executive, or an A-type woman, or all of them. You are part of what I like to call P Nation. I serve you by providing resources to help you to speak, to lead, and to live with confidence. Because you know what? Confidence is everything. So, are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Basement Chronicles, episode number 4, the simple formula for succeeding at anything. So I want to start with some good news, you guys. I passed my citizenship test. Yes, the Canadian citizenship test consists of only 20 questions, right? But you must get at least 15 correct. And I answered all of them correctly, okay? And it's not a boast, it's just a fact. And it's one that I mentioned because of what I want to discuss with you today. This is the big thought. Knowledge plus effort equals success. That's right. Knowledge plus effort equals success. If you go out to do something with the right knowledge and with big effort, you will succeed at that thing. I should not have really been surprised that I passed the test because, I put in the work, right? I put effort into passing. First off, I bought an online test prep kit and I sat down at my desk for hours, like from 1 a.m. until later in the day when I was ready to do the test. I pored over the information. I did the practice quizzes over and over again until I got almost all of them correct every time. And so you might say, you did all of this for 20 questions? Yes, and I got 20 correct though. The proof of the effort is in the results. So I have to admit, I should not have been surprised when I found out at the end of the exam that I had gotten all correctly. But I was. And so the one thing that I've learned to be since becoming a life coach is to be curious, to observe myself and to observe other people like an outsider and to ask the question, why? And I was like, why were you surprised? And it occurred to me that I had never in my mind put the two things together as a formula and accepted it as truth. That knowledge plus effort equals success. Of course, the other good thing that happened when I got curious is that I got a subject for this podcast. And so here we are today. But you see, wherever you find yourself, whether you are a professional, an executive, or generally an A-type woman, this simple formula works. Knowledge plus effort equals success. So you can say to yourself, I can do it from now until Armageddon. But nothing will happen without those two things, knowledge of how to do it, and secondly, the effort to get up, to go the extra mile, to be superlative in your energy to succeed, to not settle for half done, half studied, half finished, half delivered. The worst thing is to look at someone else's results and to be resentful instead of getting up and figuring out how dogged they were in the pursuit of their own dream and to make a plan for you to do the same. You know, when I first began losing weight and, lots of people who had known me with the mummy weight, as I'd like to call it, when they saw my transformation, some people would come up to me and ask, hey, oh my goodness, you look so good. How did you do it? And I would begin to tell them my story. I got a trainer, I started running, I changed my diet, I did that consistently. And all of a sudden, I kid you not, you just see some people's faces and their eyes just glaze over. And they would lose interest in what I was saying. And some people would even change the subject or, get away from me as fast as they could because what they realized was those results came with effort that they were not willing to give. On the other hand, I had some friends who did things literally like come to my house and see what I was eating and get, my whole diet plan and my exercise plan and try to follow it. Would you believe that up to today, these same friends, there are about 2 or 3 of them, they are still like, maintaining their new weight. They're still working out. They're still pursuing that kind of lifestyle because they put those 2 things together. The knowledge of how to do it, and they put in the work. They put in the effort. For every single person, this works. One of my mentors from afar, Eric Thomas, likes to say this, and I like to call him my mentor from afar because I haven't met him yet, but he's spoken so much into my life in terms of his videos, in terms of I even did his speaking certification program a couple years back, and I just continue to listen to his podcasts and listen to everything that he produces. And this is what Eric Thomas said. He said, everybody wants to win, but not everybody wants to work. And he talks about giving extreme effort, not just 100%, but 120% to ensure that you're going to get the best results. What does that look like in your life? For the professional, it definitely looks like finding out what it takes to be at the top in your industry and going out and putting in the effort to get there. Who are your mentors? How did they get into their positions? What is the path that they took? And once you find out that valuable information, then the second part of your whole success journey is to put in the work, put in the effort, wake up early if you have to, leave a little later from the office if you have to, do whatever it takes for you to accomplish the excellence that will push you past everybody who's just doing the mediocre thing in the office, to push you into a position of leadership where you stand out, where you are what I love to call inimitable, cannot be imitated because of the sheer effort and the strategy behind that effort. In the area of somebody who's an executive, perhaps in an organization or maybe as a CEO of your own company, it is very important that you employ that KESS formula. You guys realize I've got a formula: knowledge plus effort equals success. It is very important to apply that formula, especially in the area of vision. When I began my company a couple years back, like many years ago, Optimum Success Strategies is my parent company. When I began that training company, I would get hired by organizations to come in and to help them to formulate business plans. And they would not even have a vision. I would have to be the one to sit down with executives and sit down with the top people to figure out what is it you're trying to accomplish. And as I've grown in business, and even as my own company has grown, I've realized that vision is something that is intrinsic. It comes from within you. If you are in an organization in a leadership position, it is the leaders coming together to either further or continue the vision that has already been started, or to figure something out for their own selves. If you are the CEO of your own company, the big question is, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to achieve? Where do you see this company in a couple years? That is the vision, and that comes from within you based on just a couple things: your why, your gifts and talents, what you are trying to accomplish in the world. So that has to come from within you. In the area of vision, that knowledge, you can apply it by looking at similar companies. What are the CEOs doing? What is their big why? And not just imitating it, but putting their why and the things that they did, the knowledge, into your own circumstance and identity to come up with something new. The results are amazing. And of course, there is so much effort that you can put into accomplishing your goal as an executive. It looks differently at the level of vision because as an executive, either as a CEO or in a high-level position within your company, you are involved in managing people and motivating people to bring out their best and to do their best. And that takes you having the vision and you having expert skills at being able to apply energy into being able to say to other people that they can do it. I think for A-type people, the knowledge plus effort equals success formula is especially important. Many A-type women, the strong ones, the independent ones, the opinionated ones who have their own thing going on, okay? Many of these kinds of women have energy for days and they have drive and determination and they can do a lot more than the average person can. That's the honest truth. And a little aside is, if you are this A-type woman who seems to have the drive but not have the physical energy to go out and accomplish your goals, it could be a couple things. You might need to check your diet and check your exercise regime, whether you are exercising regularly and eating foods that give you energy as opposed to suck the energy out of you. I know for me as an A-type woman, a high-performing woman, that having a very rigorous exercise and a healthy eating regime have helped me. These things have helped me to keep on producing and to be in the mindset and to be physically well enough to be able to produce at such a high level. But back to our main topic. The one area I believe that A-type women can apply this formula isn't just simply getting rid of the boundaries and of the stereotypes that society seems to put us in. You have a lot of energy. You can go for a longer time than a lot of people. So go. But we have all of these boundaries that, I'm supposed to be asleep now and I'm supposed to be doing this. No, I'm not saying to ignore the other things that matter, but I'm saying give yourself the right to work as hard as you can because you sure know that you can when you want to accomplish a goal. Give yourself that space to say that it's okay to go the distance. It's okay to wake up earlier. It's okay to put in that kind of effort even though other people aren't doing it. You are that type of woman and you can accomplish a lot more. So go ahead and do it. Wherever you find yourself, this formula works. Knowledge plus effort equals success. So don't just go out blindly, I can do it, shouting from the rooftops without any kind of strategy. And in that sense, strategy talks about knowledge. Figure out what it takes to do it, and then tell yourself that you can. Put in the effort, and you are going to get the success. Thank you so much for listening to Basement Chronicles today. Join me again next week for another episode that will encourage you, inspire you, and tell you that you are the asset in your life. So treat yourself as such. Thank you so much for listening to Basement Chronicles today. Don't forget to like and share this podcast everywhere. And join me next week for another episode of Basement Chronicles. I am Lisa Dublin. Bye.